It doesn't use subjective understanding of what we believe is right. It uses data in a predictive way that gives us a certain amount of confidence that can be agreed upon across the board, just like any measurement of length or height or weight. My name is David. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of Opioid. Opioid is an AI-based platform used to treat opioid abuse. What we're doing is we're helping to improve outcomes for those struggling with the disease of opioid addiction, while also reducing the costs associated with treating opioid addiction. And the reason that we're doing this is because we live in Wilmington, North Carolina. There are a lot of groups who are very interested in solving this problem and making things better. And while they're winning a lot of the battles, they're losing the war against opioid abuse. They're losing the war. In the fight against opioid abuse, there's really two groups. The first group are our neighbors, and I define our neighbors as anyone who's personally struggling with the disease of opioid addiction. And then there's partners. And partners include rehab centers, hospitals, civic and faith-based groups, even family members, everyone who's interested in combating opioid abuse on behalf of our neighbors. We're applying technology in a way that's never been done before. We're using data science to improve decision-making for physicians and clinicians in order to improve outcomes and reduce costs for treating opioid abuse. What that means is we're going to customize treatment plans based on technology, based on data, so that people get better faster. We see less people dying and less relapses. There's a reason we call the company Opioid and not OpiSolve. I don't believe that any one company or one group can solve the problem, but I do believe that technology is part of the solution. One of them being data science. We're going to look at all the data that's being collected by our partners and find the patterns that are unseen, things that can reveal key insights. We like to call them correlative factors that can reveal customized treatment plans, better ways to help our neighbors in such a way that the practitioners will have better data to make decisions from. It's scalable. It can cross over populations, demographics. It doesn't use subjective understanding of what we believe is right. It uses data in a predictive way that gives us a certain amount of confidence that can be agreed upon across the board, just like any measurement of length or height or weight. At the heart of the problem, there's really two issues behind opioid abuse and why it's so bad. This is something we discovered when we were founding the company. The main problem with opioid abuse is the stigma. The data proves that there's no socioeconomical status or background or genetic predisposition that says you're 100% going to be addicted to opioids. Really, when you get down to it, the data proves that it can happen to anyone. And in fact, anyone can get addicted to opiates within 5 days of taking an opiate drug. Another way that we're addressing it, aside from using data, is by changing the language that we use when we talk about opioid addiction. You'll never hear me say addict. You won't even hear me say recovering addict. I call them our neighbors, because they are our neighbors. They're our brothers or our sisters. We go to church with them. We work with them. They're our family members. When we start calling them addicts, we remove them from the normal social construct that we have, and it automatically ostracizes or marginalizes them with that label. So I refuse to give labels. And one thing I would urge those who have family members or friends or colleagues who are struggling with opioid abuse, one thing I would urge you to do is treat them with love. Help them to feel comfortable with what's happening with them. It's a physiologic challenge that they're having. And yes, there are more tentacles to it, but at the end of the day, they're struggling just like we all struggle, and they need your help. And Opioid is in a position to be really powerful if we can get the attention of policymakers, large rehab centers locally. The faster that we get Opioid, our data science and wearable technology in these organizations, the more confident we can be about the progress of the treatment of opioid addiction moving forward. If you want to become part of Opioid or learn more about what we're doing to combat opioid abuse, please click the link below.